Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Hi, everyone.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Hi, CJ. Hi, Built for Tough. Hi, Gabe J. We are going to do our Dashikis and Bonnets. And we're going to see what the morning report will show for everyone. Good health. Good health. Thank you, Gabe. Good health, be more. Good health. Thank you so much for coming on. Let's see. Let's see what is around you guys for today. Dashikis and Bonnets message. Hi, Melissa Richards. How are you? Good health. Good health, everyone. Let's see what is today's message. I feel very cluttered, but actually I know why I feel cluttered. I know why. Because I moved things and didn't fix it. Let's get uncluttered here. All right. Let's see what is today's message. I'm going to pick this one. Unconditional trust. Unconditional trust. Like my nails need to be done. I haven't gone to the nail salon since Omicron showed up. Unconditional trust. I'm going to just cut them off. Unconditional trust. Ascended Master, Mother Mary, and Celestite. Celestite might be the stone. Ascended Master. Don't you love to think of Mother Mary, Jesus' mother, as an ascended master? I love that. I call Jesus my ascended master. I put that on my business cards because I love him so much. Number 31. Unconditional trust. Let's see what the message is for today. Sit back and breathe in. Sit back and breathe. We bring you the blessings of unconditional trust. There are times when trust comes too easily. Perhaps life is proceeding according to some sort of plan, or you have enough money to feel safe. Sufficient prospects on the horizon to feel excited enough. Love in your relationships to feel wanted and valued. Then there are times when it is harder to trust. Perhaps none of the above applies to you. Perhaps you feel lost, alone, confused, without a clear plan or a sign of hope ahead. You may feel frightened and just want something to lift you out of darkness and into the light. Your mind and perhaps family and friends might tell you that this is a time that is crazy to trust. They may tell you that you should try to fix yourself, get real, give up, and get on with life. Do not listen to doubters or negativity from others for yourself. It's safe to trust. The Divine Mother is watching over you and will guide you safely into the new life awaiting you now. The Oracle of Conditional Trust says to you that this is a time when you need to trust the most. This is a time when you need to trust unconditionally. You may feel comfortable doing this, or you may feel deeply challenged by doing this. You may feel there is no particular evidence that you should trust, and yet you'll happily do it anyway. Or maybe you feel that trusting without a sign that things are going to improve is beyond you. Either way, this oracle brings you a message. The divine is looking out for you. For the weary and anxious mind, unconditional trust can bring relief. The idea that you don't have to keep worrying that everything is going to work out according to a higher plan, and divine grace can soothe your mental anguish and emotional suffering. If it is difficult for the mind to let go, it might prefer to keep worrying and trying to work things out on its own. This could be especially so if you have relied upon people before and been let down, or don't feel absolutely certain that the universe loves you and has your best interest at heart to always act on your greatest good. If the mind is in a fear response, it needs to be reassured. But sometimes reassurance comes from you. It needs to understand why you are in a situation where unconditional trust is being asked of you in the first place. There will be many reasons, some of which you will come to understand in hindsight. There is one reason that is always true, however, and it may help your mind to relax a little and allow your heart to take over. The reason is that divine wants you to be more involved in your life. He wants to help you avoid unnecessary pitfalls, pains, and obstacles, and only go through the suffering absolute essential for your growth. That is so much less than what we fear or expect it to be. It wants you, divine, wants you to be filled with divine love and to live a life that is increasingly free, graceful, and blessed, so that you can inspire others to trust unconditionally too. How can this happen? Only when you allow the divine unrestricted access to your life. The only way you can do that is by trusting unconditionally. All right, I think I get this. I'm finding during Mercury retrograde not coming to me as easily. But I think I get the unconditional trust. I think unconditional trust is hard to receive. I also think it's hard to explain. I think it's hard to have unconditional trust when you're going through things, when you're having bad relationships, and you're wondering, if I leave, will I be safe? Because I know the enemy within. Like, I know the enemy. But if I leave, then I have unknown enemies. Or if you're going through an illness, let's say cancer. And what is the unconditional trust when you have something like cancer? That's to put all your trust in the doctors and their suggestions for you, right? Also, to have unconditional trust to see if family members will care for you. If you have something like cancer and you have dependency on others. And to have to look at all of that, to have to look at who cares. Do you have good doctors? Should you fight with your doctor for better treatment? Should you fight with your relationships to demand better? And if I don't get better, maybe the unconditional trust is to leave and trust the universe that this that you have here, you've made your God. But if you leave and trust divine, could you be better off? No, Scorpio, no couple readings. Because I'll say something and I promise you, you don't want the other person to hear it. I do husband and wives. I don't do them together. Unless it's a business reading, then that's totally different. I do business readings for couples. And I always like to go back to my situation and unconditional trust. I can't say that I have unconditional trust. I don't know if I carry that. I can tell you that I wind up in situations where I'm forced into trusting. I cannot say I do it unconditional. I can say I'm forced into a situation, and sometimes I question God. And I'm like, why? Why am I without a car? Why am I dependent upon others to get me from point A to point B? Why am I waiting an hour for a taxi to show up on a little tiny island? And yet I still don't have my car. And yet God has never failed me. And I still don't have a car. So what is God asking of me when he doesn't give me what he knows I need? What is God telling me to do when he doesn't give me a car? What's the bigger picture? You know, in this, they said something about getting it in hindsight. So I'm trying to get it now. I don't want to get it beyond. I'm trying to be present enough to understand unconditional trust in God, in Christ, in Yahweh, in Buddha, in the universe, in the saints, and the stars. What are you asking me to do? And then Omnicron shows up, and Omnicron goes, sit down. Sit down some more, says Omnicron. And I'm like, I'm already sitting. Omnicron goes, no, sit more. I need you to think. I need you to stop. I need you to think. I need you to process. Because I put you in the Caribbean for a reason. And I get that. I get it. I'm in the Caribbean for a reason. Doesn't mean I discovered my reason yet. But I get it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm here. I'm sitting. I don't have a car anyway. What's my messaging? Because I'm getting mad. What's my messaging? And then I discovered my candles. And I was like, really, God? You want me to make the candles? And I was like, okay, I'll try it. So I made some sample ones, took them to the store here on the island. Seems to work. And I was like, okay, God, if this is something you want me to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make these candles. And I'm going to be quiet. And I'm going to sit. Right? Omnicron said, sit down. And I said, okay, fine, I'll sit down. So I order everything. All of my supplies are ordered in. And I work, and I work, and I work, and I work. And I come up with this concept that if I had a car, it would have never happened. So now I'm like, oh, that's why you didn't give me a car? That's why? Because the problem is I had the money for a car. This is the problem. I had the money for a car, for the car. I was here in June. I wanted to secure an apartment. My landlord said that he would hold the apartment for me, and he would hold it until I got back to the Caribbean. So all I did was pay him the deposit to hold the apartment. But before I left, Spirit had a conversation with me, and Spirit said, no, give him a call and tell him you will pay, just breathe, Tracy, 6 months in advance. And I said, God, but I need a car. And I heard God say, no, you'll get the car. Secure your apartment in advance. So I do. I hear Spirit. I call him up and I said, I've been thinking. I feel like I'm going to go away. I actually don't know when I'm coming back. I've been in my last apartment 6 years. It's going to take me a moment. I have no help. My son wasn't coming to help me. I was going to do this by myself. Eventually, my assistant was the biggest grace to me. And I said, let me pay 6 months in advance. And of course, he was like, bet, came over. I paid 4 months in advance, but I saved 2 months separate. So I was paid up through January, basically. And I couldn't breathe. But Spirit said, don't worry. And at the time, the candle business hadn't come to me yet, right? Spirit said, don't worry, in June. Pay up in advance. And so I said, Spirit, I trust. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I trust, right? There is security in knowing that you can come back to a place. It took me 2.5 months to clean out my apartment, come back to a place and be able to not have to worry about rent for a few months. And I didn't have a car. And I thought, it's going to take me a while to build up the income for the car. And I said, I'm not going to worry. No. And then not having a car turned out to be a nightmare, which meant God didn't want me to go anywhere, which seems so crazy to me. Like, I want to go to the beach. You guys keep asking me, like, why don't you show us the beach? Because I don't have a car to get to the beach. Why don't you show us sights? I'd love to. I don't have a car. So I just do dashikis and bonnets. And then I had an argument come through. And the argument really sedated me. And I needed to find my spirit, my peace from within. And again, I wish you guys could understand what it's like to just sit in your own ugly, sit in your own peace, sit in your own calm, sit in your own worry. And I would go out to my front door and I can see the sea from here. And I would just look at the sea. I could see the clouds. And because I live near the equator, the clouds and the earth meet. So I get clouds, luminous, beautiful clouds in my face. And it just gave me an opportunity to just sit in front of my door. By the way, I'm the only one that sits in front of my door with a chair. Nobody else does it but me. And I just have conversations with God. And God said, make these candles. I can't explain to you how the candle concept came to me. But I'm going to show you the candles. Do you want to see it? I'm going to show it to you. I'm ready to show it. And it's almost bringing me to tears because of the work that's put into these candles. And the love and the care. And I could only do it if I didn't have a car. Which Spirit said, You're not getting a car, sweetie. We got other things for you. Hold on. Ooh, I almost hurt myself there. These are going to go on pre-sale February 7th. But this is what I've been working on. I don't know if you guys can see it well enough. Let's see if I can put them in this box and then angle the box. Oh, yeah. Then I'll angle the box. Work with me, candles. This is what I've been working on. Oh, let's just try the 3 right now. Push you back a little. Oh, there you go. This is what I've been working on. These candles are made for you to manifest your own powers, to manifest success, money, love, better health. Now, so far, the green ones are for money, and these are blue. This is for health. The greens are for money, and this is for health. And no two are made the same. No two are made the same. And they are being made with love. Let me show you the green one together. No two are made the same. And it has really calmed any insecurities I have in trusting God. I even was I'm just so happy making them that all of a sudden I didn't care about a car. That all of a sudden I realized I have to stay home and I have to make these candles. And the scents that are going into the candle relate to healing for the blue, money for the green. Like the oils are specifically have the consideration of the meaning. And then there's the gold, and the gold is going to be for power and success. And that that color came from you guys. So it's going to be gold. And what you guys do know is that the gold will have coconut, but it will be a blend of coconut and something else. And I could only get here, right? Oh, now it fits. Silly me. I could only get here by God's grace, by trusting. Let me get a little closer to you guys. By trusting God's grace. Unconditional trust, which means I have to sit in my own shit. I have to allow myself to allow God in, really let God in. I have to allow myself some embarrassment that this woman from the States walking around the island in the beginning with colorful hair and colorful outfits and living amongst the locals is a little bit of an oddball. And everybody looks at me like this. And I know it. And I question God. I'm like, yo, they're not letting me in. They're not letting me be a part of the Caribbean world here. Why am I here? Well, these candles were meant to be made on St. Croix. From the energy, it's electrifying on St. Croix. When I first got here, my feet would peel because it's so electrifying here. What's your unconditional trust? What is it that you need to be doing or sitting or creating or trusting? What is it? It's something. I already know it's something. So what is it? Oh, thank you. I'm not looking at what everybody, I'm going to need each one. Yes, the way I'm designing the candles for the packaging is you will get one for health, only because everyone needs health, one green for money and abundance and fertility, and one gold for power and success. So the way it's being packaged is one of each at a price. Thank you, guys. Oh, thank you, Lottie. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Don't you just love candles? Don't you just love candles? All right. So trust, even when it doesn't feel right. Trust when you know you should be leaving a relationship. Trust when God is trying to tell you to leave your job. Go find another job. Trust when God is asking you to move. Unconditional trust. In a weird kind of way, you can't make a mistake. You can question it. That much I can tell you. You can absolutely question, what the hell am I doing here, God? And you still might not get the answer. But in time, you will. And in time, if you give time a chance, if you give unconditional trust in your version of God, you could win. You could win at the game of life. You're not in competition with anyone, right? But this Monopoly game of life, unconditional trust is the only way any of us are going to win. All right. I hope I helped. Thank you, Celicia. Oh, Melissa, do you like the candles? This is what I've been working on. Look at these beauties. Try to get a little closer. Look at that. Thank you, guys. Thank you. This right here, this has been everything to me. Everything. Y'all didn't know it, but I have been working on these candles since November. This has been everything to me. And it found me peace. And it found me self-love. And it found me at my happiest. Seriously. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Melissa. Oh, thank you, everyone. Deep thanks for sharing. They're like jewels you're getting. Yeah, I feel that too. Yeah. Also, they're going to come complete with a package of herbs and crystals so that you could charge your own intentions. I really thought this out. I thought out every little detail. And I literally cooked the candles with a mixture of frankincense, myrrh, and patchouli. And then I add the proper oils for the intentions. So it is jam-packed with incentive essential oils that have meaning. And the reason why I use frankincense, myrrh, and patchouli is because these are the three herbs that has been around since the beginning and before Christ. These herbs have been around for centuries. And then I add the essential oils that matters after it's cooled. So I'm so excited. Yes, Pretty Maid. The pre-orders will start February 7th. So excited. I'm so excited. And I'm so excited to get what unconditional trust feels like. God didn't want me spending all that money on a car. He wanted me to stop and think and process and consider something bigger than me, bigger than a car. Other people need help is what I finally got out of this process. It was never about me. Thank you, Tinkerbella. Yes, your passion will lead you to your purpose. Yes. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you. You guys are going to make me cry. I love crying lately, but we're also in Jupiter and Pisces and Neptune and Pisces, and that water sign loves to cry too. They're just as bad as cancers. Call me for your own personal reading. Follow YouTube, subscribe. Let me just put it here because I always forget to put text DM for readings. 213-458-7408. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of myself. And you know what I'm proud of? Not the creation, right? We make children every day. I'm not proud of that. I'm proud of the discipline that it took to listen. All right, guys. I love you. Bye. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We're just trying to. Bye, guys.